Welcome to The Rundown, boys and girls. I'm Brandon Smith, and that's Jackson Carter. We are your hosts for today's show. Tell them what's up for today, Jackson.
Well, Brandon, it's opening week for Major League Baseball. Our roundtable will take a feature look into this season with special guests Dr. Jeff Fruit, Patrick Krause, Ben Thomas, and our very own Andrew McCraw. Mitchell and Tyler will then introduce us to the newest intramural sporting craze that is sweeping the nation, and that would be inner tube water polo.
But first, Jackson, let's take a look at the OBU baseball team as they enter the second half of their season.
Well, the Tigers have faced some pretty difficult teams so far, but they hope to bounce back and finish at the top of their conference. They're coached by Jeremy Hayworth, who in fact was a former OBU player and was the 2007 Gulf South Conference Player of the Year.
The production from the plate is led by junior Landon Moore and freshman, who happens to be my roommate, Will Wallace. Both Moore and Wallace maintain a batting average well above 300, but also help the team in the field, committing only a total of 3 errors between them all season.
The two power hitters on the squad are both juniors, Chris Tavares and Keegan Gadati. Tavares leads the team in home runs and RBIs with 3 and 23, respectively. Gadati is second on the team with RBIs with 18 and has also stolen 11 bases without being caught once.
It's pretty impressive. Two of the pitchers for the Tigers, senior Josh Everett and junior Davis Ward, stepped off the rubber to talk to us about the team this season.
So far, we had really high expectations coming in this year, and we've underperformed so far. For games, when we pitch well, we can't hit and field well, and vice versa. So we kind of been hitting some recently. But everybody on the team knows the quality of the guys on the team and the talent that we have. So we all know we can turn it around. It's just a question of when, you know.
Our team goal was at the beginning of the year to make it all the way to a regional championship game. But right now we're really just focused on taking it one series at a time. We're going to get to the GAC tournament hopefully and win that, and then we'll see where we go from there. Our team chemistry is big time a strength. That is that's what Coach Hayworth preaches in the fall is how we come together. He preaches it throughout the year that we need to come together as a team and play as one, and so that's what we really do well.
Josh Everett is third on the pitching staff in innings pitched and has struck out a total of 28 batters. He has also pitched 2 complete games.
Davis Ward, the ace on the mound, has pitched the most innings by far and has an earned run average well below 2. Ward has started 9 games and threw a complete game 6 out of those 9. He was named the GAC Pitcher of the Week earlier in the season after pitching 10 consecutive scoreless innings and striking out 8. He won 2 games in one day, Jackson. It doesn't get better than that.
You know, guy's a stud, what can I say? The Tigers have 6 seniors on the team that certainly want to end their careers with a bang and hopefully with the conference championship. There are still 9 home games left, so Tiger Nation, be sure you come out and catch a game.
Now we're going to toss it to Mitchell and Tyler with intramurals.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome back to The Rundown. This is the intramural section here. My name is Mitchell Kelly. Alongside me here again is Tyler Davis. And we're kind of having a waiting period right now in intramurals. Jason Bean described it as 3 weeks that we weren't sure exactly what to do with before we hit our big-time softball intramural sport. So what he did is he filled it with 2 different sports that we have really never organized here at OBU, but the first one is water polo, and the second one is ultimate frisbee. Today we're going to give you a little bit of an inside look into water polo and whether students are liking it, how's it shaping up, and just an overall recap of what's going on. So Tyler, tell us a little bit about the sport.
Okay, Mitch. It consists of 7-person teams. You can either have 4 guys and 3 girls or 3 guys and 4 girls, but it has to be split up in 3 and 4s. Everybody plays in an inner tube. You can sit in it, you can lay in it, the little donut inner tubes, however you want, but you must be in an inner tube. And they've set goals on either side of the pool, and they play 2 15-minute halves with a 5-minute halftime.
Yep, the games are going to only go for these 3 weeks. It'll probably be about 1 game per team each week. And then they also have no tournament whatsoever. This is just for fun. Come on out to the pool and see if you're good at water polo. So we decided we'd go down to the pool and see if we could catch some of this action for ourselves.
We play water polo, pretty traditional rules, except instead of swimming and potentially drowning, like some of us would do, we get to lay on inner tubes. So we borrowed inner tubes from one of our local river rafters, and we get to lay on our stomachs or backs and float around, and that saves us from drowning and kind of equalizes it so that the awesome OBU swim team doesn't run laps around us. It's co-rec, so they got to have basically equal number of guys and girls on the team. And we also give double points if a lady throws it in, just to make sure that the guys aren't trying to dominate the game, because we want it to just be a fun kind of experiment. And that's definitely what we're going for here, is an experimental program, just for people to get to hang out in the pool and utilize it, since we don't have any other sports that do.
I played water polo 4 years in high school. It's weird being in an inner tube and playing water polo. Like, it's kind of, I think it's a little harder for me, actually, because I can't like shoot like I'm used to and stuff. So yeah.
I really like the idea that they're trying to incorporate the pool into intramurals. So I think that's really good for the pool and everything. So.
I definitely think it's a good idea. There's never been a water sport around here. I watched some of the games last night, and it looks like a lot of fun to people that aren't really swimmers, so they don't get to spend time in the water. And I think it's always it's a good idea to have people get comfortable in the water, just so it's not like a shock to them when they get in there. So I think it's a good idea to have a sport here.
Well, that's all we have. Now we're going to kick it to Andrew for a special baseball edition of the Roundtable.
Hello, welcome to the Roundtable, today's baseball special. I'm Andrew McCraw, joined with guests Ben Thomas, Patrick Krause, and the esteemed Dr. Root, who wore a baseball tie just for this occasion.
I did.
Isn't that wonderful? I think it is. As you all know, Ouachita is just split almost right down the middle with St. Louis Cardinals fans and Texas Rangers fans. So today we're going to get into a little bit of debate about those two teams and spread it out as well. Patrick, let's start off with you with a little Ranger talk, okay? A lot of the offseason moves the Rangers had have been frowned upon with our team. A loss of Michael Young, Mike Napoli, Josh Hamilton, and others. A lot of people are thinking down on the Rangers. What do you have to say to any of that?
Well, the thing with those three guys is they were all replaceable, and it's very sad to say that, especially Hamilton, who's for the most part a hometown guy, a guy the fans loved, just a guy you love to see play for you. But I think he is replaceable. I think last year he did hit 43 home runs and over 100 RBIs, but I think you can replace that at far, far less a cost. Michael Young. He had a bit of a down year, but he just didn't have a spot to play in. And you bring in Lance Berkman, who can do essentially the same thing, and Napoli, who is hurt a lot. And even his deal in Boston struck from a 3-year, $33 million deal to a 1-year, $7 million deal, just trying to reestablish his value. All those guys were replaced fairly well, in my opinion, and I think we'll move forward pretty well.
Andrew, I'll tell you what, I haven't known Patrick very long, but I think he's the Sheldon Cooper of Ranger baseball.
I would agree.
That guy really knows a lot.
Absolutely. That is a great compliment. Thank you.
I tell you what, Ben, though, I want to ask you, this seems to me to be the toughest division in baseball, and what I'm hearing is that there's a danger the Rangers could fall as far as third place.
Yeah, last year the Angels were in third place. They finished the season in third place, behind the Rangers and Oakland. Oakland being first, which is a whole nother story right now. But, I have a hard time, with the AL West because I kind of get attached to players, and not necessarily Josh Hamilton, but Josh Hamilton-esque, who, play for one team and then get traded to the other. So the division is consistently competitive, but it's competitive with itself more than anybody else, it seems like, in any other, division. So.
Right. The A's seem to do it with mirrors, guys. I understand what the Angels are. That's a team that has been purchased and a good one.
Right.
I understand what the Rangers are. They've been consistently good. The A's just seem to come out of Moneyball.
Yes, indeed they do. And they get guys that a lot of people overlook and undervalue. Coco Crisp, I think the A's are his 4th or 5th team, Boston being one of them. And he's had a lot of value up there. And they get guys who bring a lot of value, and they get young guys who just want it so much more than and if you watch that final series between the A's and the Rangers, the A's wanted it more. I mean, you can say whatever you wanted, but the A's wanted it more.
Absolutely. And back on the Angels, from the outside looking into me, it looks like they are basically getting the Rangers' old model of offense, and very little pitching depth. Of course, you have Jared Weaver. And you have C.J. Wilson, ex-Texas Ranger, right there. Past that, what do y'all think of the depth there? A lot of people are saying that that's not going to get it done in the meantime. What do y'all think?
Well, you're right. It's Ranger syndrome. It's the Rangers of 2004. Whenever we're hitting all kinds of home runs and leading the division and leading the, AL West and home runs and hits and things like that, but we're not winning ball games. The reason we're not winning ball games is because, you only average about 5-6
runs a game and the other team's averaging 8 or 9. You just can't win ball games like that. And, you know, I think if the Angels don't average 7 to 8 runs a game, they're probably not going to be much higher than 500. You know, it's not a winning model.
And the Angels' pitching is in shambles, honestly. Jared Weaver's fastball velocity has gone down. He depends on his deceptive stuff, his curveball, his slider, his changeup, and a lot that'll get him really far. But at the same time, once hitters start figuring that out, they're going to start hitting him. C.J. Wilson's had some elbow problems. I've never really thought he's been that good, especially when he was in the bullpen with Texas. Justin Vargas is solid. Tommy Hanson, he has had a lot of trouble ever since he was in Atlanta, and then he left, and he's coming to an American League park with a lot of hitters in that division. And then Joe Blanton bring him the division. It's not strong, and their bullpen is even weaker than that.
I love the American League too, guys, but if you want to talk about pitching depth, I would offer up the St. Louis Cardinals. They were a different team late in the season because they brought up 3 young pitchers, and now they'll have those 3 pitchers for the entire season. Now they're going to need them because they've lost Chris Carpenter again. But we're talking about Joe Kelly, who goes to the bullpen and helps out the bullpen. Shelby Miller has been a guy they've waited for some time, and now he'll be in the rotation. And I think a real key to the season is Trevor Rosenthal, who came out of nowhere to throw 100 miles an hour late last season. He pitched in pressure situations, including the playoffs, and pitched very, very well. Cousin, of course, of Tyler Rosenthal. I want to start that rumor if I could. And he's going to be, I think, a real difference maker for the Cardinals as well. They've got good young players and some veterans that I think will hit well and will serve the team to really push them toward the playoffs. Obviously, there are other good teams in that league also. Washington's going to be very good. And I'm very interested to see how the Braves do with the Upton brothers both in the outfield.
Absolutely. And Jason Hayward taking over as the face of that franchise with Chipper Jones' retirement back on the Cardinals. It's just all about, to me, staying healthy. With those guys, you got Wainwright taking over as the face of that rotation right there. It's going to be very important, so just staying healthy. And that's right there. Sorry to end it. I know we could probably talk for hours on this stuff because we love baseball. And that's all the time we're going to have today for our roundtable segment. Thank y'all for joining me. We're going to pitch it back out to Jackson and Brandon right now to finish out. And this has been the roundtable.
You know, I'm always going to go with my boy Matt Kemp and the Dodgers all the way.
Hey, no. Look, Arkansas Travelers this year winning the pennant. Calling it.
I don't know about that, but I guess we'll find out in October.
Yeah, we will.
That's the rundown for this week. Follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook. You know the drill. For Jackson Carter, I'm Brandon Smith. That's all, folks.